So in continuation with the previous class, so let us move ahead. So yesterday we discussed even what is meant by combinational logic circuits and what is meant by sequential logic circuits. So as discussed yesterday, a few of you answered the same thing, that is the combinational depends on the present input, whereas the sequential depends on the present input and the past state of that circuit. So because sequential depends on the past state, you have to store that information. So if you have to store, then memory becomes necessary in such kind of circuits. So that is what we had discussed. So moving ahead, under combinational circuits, you had given few examples also, like mux, demux, a decoder, encoder, adders. So these are few examples what you had suggested or discussed. Then in sequential, you gave the examples of some flip-flops, then the counters which are designed using the flip-flops, timers. So these all things. So let us just check out what all things are present. So let us see what comes under combinational logic circuits. So as specified, first of all, it is a memoryless logic circuit. Now, why memoryless? Because it depends only on the present instance. It doesn't depend on the previous instances. So output at any instant in time depends only on the combination of its input. So what it specifies is it only depends on the present state or the present inputs which are given to the circuit, and it doesn't depend on the previous state. Now, because of this, right, the system does not require any memory. It does not require any memory, and therefore we can specify that it is a memoryless digital logic circuit. So this is a possible block diagram or representation of a combinational circuit. So in this combinational circuit, you can have anything, say for example, adder, subtractor, or demux, mux, anything for which you'll be having, say, input, and you might be having one or more outputs which will be available. And here you can see that there is no, again, interconnection between these. So because there is no presence of memory. So what are the different types of combinational circuits you have come across? So first one is arithmetic and logic circuits. Next one is something called as data transmission circuits, and last one is the code converters. So in this one, right, so in this case, you can just observe under arithmetic and logic, it is nothing but adders, subtractors. So what you're implementing. Then logic, this thing is one of the comparators. Say it may be a 1-bit comparator, 2-bit or n-bit comparators. Then you have something called as PLDs. So we'll be discussing slide regarding these also, as these all things are required in a Verilog experiments itself. So this itself, I think it covers the first part of the experiments, adders, subtractors, comparators. So if you just know the truth table and how to build a circuit, how to get the expressions from the truth table, so that will help you in writing down the Verilog code. So under data transmission circuits, we can have mux, demux, encoders, decoders. So that is what you are doing is, for example, mux, demux. So as the name itself tells, it multiplexes. So it multiplexes multiple signals together. Suppose you have different, again, techniques over there. So in multiplexing, for example, what I do is I want to multiplex information from two students. So one information is giving one student is giving one information, another student is giving another information. So what I do is I club that information and then send it at the other end. At the other end, to whom it is intended. Say student 1 wants to communicate with the sir 1, and student 2 wants to communicate with the sir 2. So in that case, when you multiplexed and sent it over the channel, at the other end, student 1's information has to be given to sir 1, and student 2's information has to be given to sir 2. So here what you're doing is you are looking forward for that transmission. So in multiplexing, you are doing it so that you can utilize the channel bandwidth in an appropriate form. So encoding, decoding, if you just check out with the encoders, you have different types of encoders. There is non-priority and you have priority encoders. So these are the two things what you have. And then apart from that, we have code converters. I think you have already seen these things. That is, I think you might have gone through binary to gray, gray to binary, then how to represent a binary number in its BCD equivalent. So these are the code converters what we come across. So which is also a part of the combinational logic circuits. So any discussion over here? Should I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here again we have binary, BCD, 7-segment display. I think in logic design you might have come across these. So these are the things which fall under combinational logic circuits. So let us break down into several this thing, that is arithmetic and logic circuits. So just a slight discussion. I think you know this one, which is a 1-bit half adder. Now in this case, what you're doing is, now you are taking two inputs, that is A and B, and you are adding those, and you're trying to see what is the overall sum and what is the overall carry. I hope you know the truth table, so no need to specify anything regarding that. So now what happens is, from this truth table you use any of the method, say K-map or the direct representation of the expressions, and try to obtain what is its equivalent, say gate realization. So this is the schematic how we represent it in a very short form, that is two inputs, and we have the sum output and the carry output. Now, if I want to realize it in the gate form, we have to reduce this table and obtain the expression for that. So once we obtain the expression for that, we get to know that S is equal to, that is, the sum can be obtained by XORing the two results. So if you just observe the table, you can make it out. That is, whenever both the inputs are 0, the sum is 0. Whenever any one of the input is 1, the sum is 1, and when again both the inputs are same, in this case again it is 0. So this is the case for 2-bit or 1-bit half adder what you're considering. So it turns out to be XOR, and this is the gate realization what you have. And when we realize it for carry, if you just see, if you just observe, carry is 0 whenever any one of the input is 0, and it is 1 only when both the inputs are 1. So which is nothing but the AND logic. So even if you put it in the K-map and try to realize, it turns out to be A and B. So that is what is represented here. So this is with respect to half adder. Now when we come to full adder, what additional thing comes is the carry what we consider. These are the two inputs. Along with that, if I put in the carry, then it turns out to be a full adder. So here if you just look at the truth table, when all the inputs are 0, sum is 0, carry is 0. Similarly, another one, if I just check out, 0 plus 1 is, it is in terms of binary, it is 1, and there is no carry. So if I just consider, say this case 1 1 0, whereas A and B are 1 and the carry is 0. So in this case, the sum turns out to be 0, because 1 plus 0 will be equivalent to 0. And what happens is a carry is generated, so which represents 1. So the last one, when I consider all are 1. So it is 1 plus 1 plus 1. So which is nothing but in a decimal form it is equivalent to 3, which is represented as 1 1. So in this case the first this thing represents the sum and the last number represents the carry. So I hope you remember these things, because these are the things what you will be implementing in your first set of Verilog experiments. So when I again use the K-map and try to reduce the expression, so it turns out to be a circuit in this form, and for sum, and this is for the carry what I am getting. So using K-map or any other this thing technique what you know, so using that you will be able to obtain the expression. Now here if you just see this or this, these are these are using the basic gates. Now if I want to convert the same thing to using the universal gates, so I go ahead with the double complement method, or I try to represent say a a XOR B in terms of the NAND gate or the NOR gate, which are the universal gates. This expression I try to realize it in terms of the NAND or NOR, and then I replace these gates with the universal gates. So whatever representation is present is available. So that is with respect to the combinational logic circuits for arithmetic and logic circuits, and that is in terms of half adder and full adder. So now coming down to the next part, that is the comparator. So in comparator, here this is a 1-bit comparator what you're looking out for. So how you compare in your decimal form, right? So whether number 5 is equal to number 5. So whether true or false. If it is false, then what? There are 3 conditions. Either it is the 2 numbers are less, either the 2 numbers are equal, or the 2 numbers are greater. So these are 3 possible conditions. So if I give you any numbers, you should be able to specify what it is. So if you want to build a 1-bit comparator, you take 2 inputs and you build the truth table. So if I happen to specify the truth table, so in the first case, 0 and 0, if both the inputs are 0 and 0, both the inputs are equal. Therefore, this is logic 1. So 0 and 1. So in this case, A is less than B. So therefore, this turns out to be true. In this case, 1 and 0, what happens is A is greater than B. And the last case, again, it is equal. So now can anyone just tell me what will be the logic expression for A less than B for this case?
A complement B.
A complement B. Can for A greater than B? Hmm?
A plus A.
A into B complement. And what
हाँ,
was the
A
for B?
A B
What might be the expression?
A
B plus A complement B complement.
A plus
A plus A complement B complement.
so
A XOR with
AB
B.
plus A complement B complement.
yes, it is the XOR operation. XOR. Okay.
XOR.
XOR operation. Okay. So those are the expressions.
exact.
So that is, I hope you remember how to obtain the expressions in form. So that is what happens over here. So using K-map, we can obtain it, or you can obtain it directly from the truth table. If the truth table is small, then we can obtain it from the truth table. But if it is huge enough, then you can go for any of the methods. What you know, whether K-map, QM, or any other method is there, that we can utilize those things. So if I use, I hope you know how to go ahead with K-map. Can anyone tell what type of numbering is used in this case here? So if I have say something like this. So what will be the numbers present here? Can anyone say something like A, B, C? What will be the numbers which will be present here? Can anyone just tell me?
Binary number.
0 0.
Binary number.
00
It will be, say first one will be what?
00
Double zero. Then,
01
okay. Then
11
1
double one.
One
One
zero.
zero. Now this is what kind of representation?
Binary.
Binary. Binary. Yes. Okay, it is gray coded. It is gray coded. Hmm? So in a K-map you use the gray coding. Okay. So you should remember all these things because almost 1 year has passed since you dealt with these things. So you should remember this. This is gray coding. What we'll be using. So if you have say 8, say 3 here, 3 here, then it becomes a very big expression. So solving those things becomes difficult. That's why you go for different methods like QM method or any other method which you have studied. So which reduces, wherein you try to identify a few of the parameters over. So what is the minimal expression, maximal expression? So those all things you try to obtain. So in this case, since only two inputs are there, what happens is the expression is very simple. The table is very simple. So only this is the high value. So therefore, what it turns out to be A into B bar. That is A and B bar. So here, if you just check, it is A bar and B. Now, but here, what happens? You have this and this. So I cannot club. If you remember, I cannot do clubbing like this. I can do clubbing like this, like this. I can map it in this form, or I can map like this. I can map like this, provided that both the rows are identical, and depending on whether you are clubbing 1 or 0, the expression changes over there. But the end result will be same. Okay, so you should be careful and you should remember all these things. So that is what we are specifying here. Okay, so here that expression is written for the last table. So it is A, sorry, when I again reflect it, it is A XOR B, it's inversion. So it is XNOR. It is XNOR. Okay. Okay. So this is the circuit representation of circuit or gate level representation of the one bit or one bit comparator. So here I can just see that on one line you have A and the other line you have its inversion. On one line you have B and on the other line you have its inversion. Okay. So here A greater than B is what? It is A and B bar. So I take a line from A and I take a line from B bar. So this will give me the expression for A greater than B. So whenever the condition is true, this will glow. Okay. Somebody can mute yourself. I think it is disturbing. Okay. So is it fine up to this point? Hello. Is it fine up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Shall I move ahead?
Yes.
So next one which comes is combinational logic circuit. So which is arithmetic and logic circuits. So under that we have something called as PLDs. So the full form of PLD is programmable logic devices. So there are some devices which you can program, and I think few of them had already gone through. For example, I think you might have come across the terms like PAL, programmable array logic, programmable programmable logic array. I think you might have come across these things. So here, what happens is a few of the configurations you will be able to change it, program it. That is an advantage what you will be having. Okay. So you'll be having some configurable logic and flip flops which are
संपलं बी वेगळी. त्याने फोन घेऊन बसले.